everyone, welcome back to Painted. I am Maury Curtis Dunbar, owner and creative director here, and we're moving into some more fun with foils and paint and all kinds of stuff. So yesterday we did two little tables, or we started two little tables. Today we're continuing on them, so we're not gonna play around here. We're not gonna chat forever. I can chat plenty while I'm foiling. And we're gonna move right into the work. So I'm gonna aim the camera here. And again, I'm on a gooseneck, so there's a little bounce. I apologize for that. And my gooseneck likes to twist, so I have to sometimes readjust things. So I had foiled this whole part, and then I let it dry last night because, you know, we had the drawer that came flying out at me, and hi, I'm here. So now I'm sitting down low. I put foil adhesive, our Artsyville foil adhesive, down here on these lower pieces because I had last night to think about what else I wanted to do. And that was really where we were at. Now I'm using our gorgeous blue-green tie-dye foil. And for those who are unfamiliar with foils, foils have a pretty side and a not so pretty side. The not so pretty side always goes to the adhesive. So I'm gonna just lay it down here. And I'm gonna use my little toothbrush to scrub it down on. And I have applied the foil adhesive. I applied it a couple hours ago. Manufacturer recommendation is to let it dry for a good hour. So it's got a good firm tack on it. Oh yeah, that came out beautifully. I'll get the other side here so you can see. Unfortunately, for me to see it, the camera is pointing the wrong way. But you can see I just laid that in there and it's gorgeous. Now, you're far from me. I don't have my iPad here, so if you ask questions, I can't answer them right now, but I will be going back, and when I get in a position where I can move the camera closer, I will also read your questions, answer them, and I always answer them. Even if I've answered them in the video, I go back into the thread later on and answer them anyway in writing so that nobody has to hunt for the answers. All right, this is coming out really, really cute. Let's see. For those who happened to be watching yesterday and saw me pull the drawer out and basically almost punched myself in the face with it because I'd been saying, I can't get it out, I can't get it out. Well, obviously I got it out, and it has been painted and sanded and cleaned up, so the drawer is right here. I painted the inside with Set Coat Metallic Navy. The front's been done, the sides are all finished. We're all set to go. I did not do the bottom. I don't want to mess with the sliding mechanism in here. You can cause problems with the slide if you start painting up the bottom of things like drawers too much, so I left it be. And trust me, I know how to mess up a drawer. I've messed up quite a few. I've learned a lot of things the hard way, so I'm sharing the information so you don't have to. Also, in yesterday's post, yesterday's video, I shared in the comments section, I shared how I made my furniture Lazy Susan that you're seeing me working on here. I thought it was a kid's table, but this is actually an IKEA coffee table, and the hardware from Home Depot. Very simple project. I don't know, the table was $99. Trust me, it wasn't a $99 table when I pulled it off the curbside. But I had known how much I was going to use this and watch somebody make it. Yeah, I would have gone out and paid $99 for the table to do that because this is so worth it. I'm not dragging furniture around. I'm not scuffing the floors with it. I'm not killing my back with it. I'm just This one I'm moving like this with my hand just because I don't want to swing it out of camera view. But truly, I would have, you know, no problem spending the money to put this together. It would be worth every penny. Let me get in here with this piece of foil. So somebody's going to ask, because they always do, about how much foil did it take to do this project. I think I counted something like 9 square feet of foil yesterday. And then I've used several square feet cleaning up some of the detail today and getting to the feet and the base here. So I'd say for a table with turned leg like this and all these little details that you're finding, it was a good 10 square feet of foil. Now I'll have, you know, some left over that I haven't used, but surface area is deceiving. So you're going to almost always find out you need a little more than you thought you did. Now again, this table, if you didn't watch yesterday, I'm doing it as an experiment. This was found for me by a friend, handed it over to me in one of her fantastic picking trips, and my base paint of Set Coat Metallic Navy is exterior rated. My top coat will be exterior rated but with no UV protectant. I am doing this, A, because I need this table in my yard, but also because, quite frankly, I want to see the rate of the foil breaking down outside, because the foil and the adhesive are not listed as exterior rated. I don't know how light fast the foil is left exposed to sunlight for a long time, so that's what I'm going to find out. I'm sticking it in my backyard. I need to see how fast the foil breakdown rate is, and I need to see how fast the color, the foil adhesive breakdown rate, because the foil adhesive, not being exterior rated, it could craze, it could crack, it could do a lot of things not being rated for exterior. I don't know. I want to find out what it's going to do. It helps me give you all better information. And then I want to see how long it takes for the colors to fade, and quite frankly, if they do, on the foils when exposed for long periods of time outside. This is what I do. I check things. What I'm doing right now, in case you can't see my hands, I'm finishing up the foiling of the feet here, just because it has to get done. I got most of it done yesterday, and then, you know, I had missed spots with adhesive, so I'm just coming back and freshening that up. And move rolls out of the way. Oh, look, there was a little spot I missed yesterday, so there we go. Fix that. I like to go in and check places. I've dabbed some foil adhesive on a lot of spots up here, so I'm going to grab a little, another piece of foil as soon as I'm done with this. Go around, check the spots, and they were all spots that either I missed with the adhesive or I had gotten it on too thin and it wasn't giving me a good release. About it. I'm pretty sure I got this put already, but something was registering sticky, so just need to make sure I get all the foil on all the adhesive surface. And normally I'd flip this over, but I just the table's not 100% clean, and flipping it over then ends up causing scratches in the foil on top right now. It wouldn't if the table surface was cleaner, but it's not, and I'm not going to clean it off while you all watch. It's a studio. Things get messy here. I think maybe it's a hint that I need to do some replacing of the paper and stuff on here. So what's everybody binge watching while they're doing this? My husband and I have rewatched several shows, and now I got him completely hooked on Homeland so that I can get him caught up and we can watch the newest season together. There's that. There, I knew I'd miss that. And you can see, I'm just rubbing this on with my fingers, which is really, really cool. And I know this is not the greatest picture for you all with me so far away, but we're going to put the other table up here in a minute because I'm about done with this. And that's really, I mean, you can see I'm not using even a scrub brush most of the time. I'm just going in with my fingers. That's how good the foil releases, and that's how good the adhesive is. And what I'm doing right now, I'm feeling up my table to see where I've missed with the adhesive, with the foil. Sometimes you just have to get your hands on things to see what you've missed. There's a spot. You can't always tell by just looking. Okay, so our tabletop is done. Our table leg is done. Our table base is done. That's going to get set to the side. And after I finish with the live tonight, I will top coat that with C500, which is exterior rated. And then we're going to put it outside and see how it holds up. Let's throw those to the side, and we're going to move the table drawer. And we're going to put this other little black table that we started yesterday up here. And we're going to have some fun with it. So I got to move everything out of the way to get the table up there. Otherwise, I'll send it flying across the room. All right, everybody. Here we go. So, pull this over so, I'll send it off the thing. So if you remember from yesterday, I'm pulling it so you can see the whole table. This table was a nightmare. I told you that there was all kinds of weird stuff on the surface. I have tried every solvent, and every solvent dissolved one weird thing on here, and it was just really a giant gooey mess. So after I cleaned it as best as I could, and again, if I was doing this for a client, the only way I could have moved to this stage and feel like I was giving my client their best possible result was to have completely stripped the table. This is a display piece. It's going in my window, so I'm okay with what I'm doing, and for more than that, it'll give you guys some fun ideas on how to deal with bad texture. So after painting it black, I put a coat in yesterday's video. I put a generous coating of Venetian Gem synthetic acrylic plaster manufactured by Faux Effects here in the United States on here, and then ran the Lotus roller that we carry through it. So that's very cool. Now we've got this great texture, and then what I did later is then today I put foil adhesive only in the center because we're going to do two different foils on this. So we're going to see the pattern released in different ways. But today we're going to start with the blue, not the blue-green, just the blue tie-dye foil. So this is a different color. That one, the one we just used was blue and green with some yellowy gold. This one is mostly blue and silver with a hint of the yellow in it. And I'm just going to pull a big piece off. And you're going to see how this releases on a textured surface. And, oh, by the way, I was not kidding when I said I didn't know what was going to happen overnight. We've had weird crazing and cracking and stuff, and God only knows. I'm afraid right now, and I will not be surprised. I'm saying this as I put this down. If I put this down and I pull the foil back and it pulls off part of the tabletop. All right, so I'm going to cover this area. First, I'm smoothing it with my hand. see how my release is. Yeah, my release is really good. And I'm not going right up to this edge because I'm going to have to blend it. So I'm just going to take my brush. And I did not go right up there. So that when I pull this, okay, first of all, look how beautiful that release is. Now I could foil another surface and rub this foil off on it and get that pattern to stick. I'm not going to do that right now, but it is a cool option. And look how pretty. Oh, that's so pretty. So pretty. So then I'm going to take this, another piece, measure to make sure it's long enough. Yep, there we go. Okay, let's smooth it out. Again, almost to the edge, but not completely. And now I can smooth back to this edge over here because it's overlapping. But I am not going right up here because I want that slightly blurred edge because then I'll blend better. And oh, I had my cousin Vinny moment. Oh yeah, you blend. And again, spectacular release. I did not reach over here. My arms weren't long enough, so I need to come back in over here. Sorry for the back of my head. But I'm going right in there. Oh, gosh. Hello, everybody joining in. I am a little far away from I am not farsighted with my glasses on, so if I'm not seeing you and saying hello, it's not personal. I literally can't see the screen to see the questions. All right, let me spin that this way so I can get to my foil. Oh, wow. I really like how this is looking. Here, rubbed right on the edges. And again, I can brush at the overlap because it's the overlap. Let me check to see I didn't miss any spots because I can. There's a lot of light reflecting on this surface now, and I don't want to miss anything. Oh, wow. That's really beautiful. And just look at that. And the lotus pattern is a little hard to see in the camera because it's reflecting light, but all the details are there. So now my next choice is what to do with this because I'm already sticky here. So I could try and release another foil over this. I got a spot I missed. I missed a little spot there. Perfect. Okay, so I could release on this with another foil. I could glitter it. I could try to find a contrasting foil to make that work. But I think first, let me think. Give me a second here. Let me do a little tester because I can always test and redo. So I've got our gorgeous holographic stars foil. And we used this on the cross I was doing last week. So I want to see how I like it. But that was over blue, so I want to see how I like this if I take a minute and just rub it in those details. Oh, wow. Okay, this is going to be a long process, so I'm not going to make you all sit here. But really what I'm doing is taking this foil and rubbing it into the crevices of the design. And I think what I'll do is I'll do a little bit of this, and then I'll flip the table around so you all can see it closer. I'm trying really hard because I have foil adhesive down here on the other spot, so I don't want to release this foil on a surface that I hadn't intended it to go on. That is pretty cool. And it's a little hard to read. This light is glaring down on it as opposed to enhancing it. Let me see if I can spin that closer so you can see what I've done. It's right here. I don't know if you all can see that. Yeah, there you go. It shows right there. And I'm going to take some time later today and work on that for a while because this is going to take a little while. This is me going in with my finger over all the design. I'll probably put on a pair of gloves to protect my fingertip because my finger will get sore doing this. But it is a cool way to enhance this idea. So it makes my design a little poppier, and it makes the table a little less dark. And what I'm going to do then, we're going to put foil adhesive over this surface in a few minutes, and then I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to do the silver out here, silver stars out here, and then this blue tie-dye will be in the details here. All right, I'm going to finish up along the sides here because the adhesive's on there. I really need to do that before I keep playing with this other one because it's going to stick to the adhesive and then give me problems if I don't get these sides done first. Now I'm very impressed that when I pulled that back, I didn't pull off any paint. I'm still not sure what's going to happen here because honestly, I was brushing foil adhesive on and it was like some of the paint was brushing back off. So I really don't know what, I have no idea what these people put on here before I got a hold of it, but I'm a little scared. All right, so we're gonna get this side. I gotta be careful because this table itself has wheels on it and it wants to roll itself off the side of my turntable. Oh, that's so pretty. I love that. That is so pretty. Let's get this all the way to here. Jump it across the bridge. I'm just going to keep releasing. I mean, just this on with the black is really lovely. But believe it or not, my upcoming Windows design is through the looking glass, a little bit of a Mad Hatter's Tea Party. I think it's kind of appropriate for things right now. And everything's really comfortable. The carousel that you've seen me do is going to be up there. So pretty. All right, let's put some more here. And I know I'm leaving quite a bit of foil on these pieces, but they're a little narrow for what I need. So they just go back into the scrap bin for use on smaller projects or filling and patching. Or I'll probably leave those there for me to use to deal with the detail in the design up here. And this is a very flawed release, especially on one side of this, I'm stuttering. There was one side of this that I'm working on right now that was, I don't know, somebody put some sort of texture on it and did, there's a whole lot of this that doesn't make any sense to me as a furniture painter. None of it I can sort through the line of thinking other than they made one heck of a mess. All right. So this is a project piece that is definitely one where I'm learning. I'm just impressed that I'm not pulling stuff back up when I pull the foil off. Ooh, still getting that gorgeous, gorgeous release. Alrighty, we're getting there. Feel free to ask any questions, even though I'm not answering your questions right now because I can't see them from where I'm sitting. That doesn't mean that your question isn't valid, and I will absolutely answer it after the live is finished and I go back and review it. All right, got one more side to do. Where's my scissors? Ugh. This is probably the hardest view in the studio. I know I usually try to be a little closer to the work, but when you're looking at me doing a big piece, I have to get farther away, and it's a little bit of a challenge to read the questions. All right, so I'm just filling in these side panels, and then I haven't decided whether I'm gonna do how I'm dealing with the legs. I'm kind of working section by section and going with it as I see how it develops. And I do that with a lot of personal stuff. I know some people cannot go forward on a piece without a solid plan. I thought I was one of those people until I started realizing every time I came up with a solid plan, the next day I came up with a brand new solid plan. So if it's not something specifically requested for the client or by the client, my plans on pieces change like the weather. Okay, let me see if I got a couple little bald spots here and there that just need a little patching in. There we go. And for those asking, who will, I know, this was not rolled on. The foil adhesive was hand brushed in because I had to work it through all the texture. It took a little time, but it also gave me a chance to get my hands all over the texture and feel like how the drying was, where the highs and lows were, all of that. All right, so far, now we are on the table, and you can see, I'm gonna lift this a little bit. You can see the sides are all done. Look how pretty that is. And I think while I'm on with you, I'll just show you how I'm gonna deal with this. I am not gonna worry about whether or not I get foil adhesive on the sides here. I'm just right now concentrating on the top. But I gotta grab a brush because they're all over at the sink. Hang on a sec. I've washed so many brushes today that I kind of forget that they're all at the sink when I need one. So this is Artsyville foil adhesive. I have it in a separate jar because my bigger can is a little older, so it had to be thinned a little. Don't thin more than 5% or you have a strong chance of losing good adhesion. And I'm just gonna catch this up to the edge. I know somebody's going to ask why I didn't tape. First of all, there's a lot of adhesive on here, so tape would be problematic. And I don't want tape on top of fresh adhesive to rip the new foil off the surface. And I'm checking as I go to make sure I've got the adhesive worked into all the crevices. And then I kind of go back and smooth, because I really don't want a brush mark showing up in my foil application. This does not self-level, so there's always going to be some method of application texture, but I want to be as smooth and consistent in it as possible. And if you notice, I always lay my adhesive whenever possible I gotta work it into those details. I'm gonna clean my edge here, make sure that's clean. And then I brush into the already laid down adhesive. The reason for that is then I don't get a plop mark where my brush just got laid down into it and has a really clear and very unattractive marking in it that will show through in the foil. I try to apply my adhesive similar to the way I apply paint. I don't want brush marks dead in the middle of the paint, so you come in from the dry area and feather it into the wet. Clean up that edge. Come on. Don't spin on me. What you may not be able to see is that I'm actually turning this with my knee, so I don't have to bend over and get my hair in the adhesive and ruin the foil finish by having my hair in it. So I can oftentimes control how I spin this thing with my knee. Work it into the design, and then I missed a little bit of the edge right there. All right, and we just have this one last little spot. And within an hour, this will have more foil on it. Now this is always the hard spot because I'm coming up against one wet edge. So I got to blend it back that way. So that's feathered, and you don't have any funny dead stops there. And I'll show you how we get it in the middle. Let's clean that edge, make sure that's in there nice and neat. I got a lot of adhesive on my brush for this spot. So I'm gonna go this way, and I'm coming in and swooping. Meaning I'm not starting and plopping my brush down and leaving it a line like that. I'm gonna swoop in, and the swooping thing is all about pressure. So when I come in this way, I'm just lightly dropping my brush down, moving it around the surface and lifting it up. Not stopping dead, lifting it up. Okay. And that's me, and the camera just twisted again. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming by today. Thank you for hanging out. I'm going to finish up the video. I'll go back and answer your questions within the next hour or so. I gotta let the foil adhesive dry, but I do have a little more work to do before that. And please sprinkle the love. We appreciate every sprinkle. And I think you guys are going to be having a great time with this kind of finish. Now, I want to say again, thank you so much for your business. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it. Without you, we wouldn't be here. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody have a wonderful Wednesday, and I'll probably see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.